Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the honourable member opposite for his comments today. I was greatly encouraged to hear him refer to the need for us to maintain robust and effective climate and environmental policies in this country. I couldn't agree more. I think it's fair to say that many Canadians, Mr. Speaker, at least for the last 35 years or so, have not associated the Conservative Party with a strong environmental record, though there is a rich lineage of Conservative environmental policy going back before that. Could the member share with this House what his party supports in terms of measures to support a clean environment, reduce our emissions, and improve the health of Canadians?
The honourable member for Portage Lisgar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the question. Let's look at the root word. Conserve and conservative. We are conservationists at our core. What we believe in is taking care of our natural landscapes. People consistently in polling care about clean air, clean water, and protecting our natural landscapes, because I represent a whole bunch of people that live, work, and play on the land, and they are the best conservationists and the true environmentalists, and I will always fight back against some concrete jungle, ivory tower policy idea trying to be imposed on the people that I represent, that, as it turns out, as evidenced by the Environment Commissioner's own report, are not working. This Liberal government's policies have been an abysmal failure, have been all pain and absolutely no gain.
Questions and comments. Questions et commentaires. L'honorable député de Mirabel.
The honourable member for Mirabel. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Finance Minister has boasted about investing $115 billion over 5 years through Budget 2025. But when you look carefully at the numbers, you realize that over 5 years, from coast to coast to coast, there will be only $9 billion in new spending, $5 billion of which will be for building new hospitals and clinics. So it'll be $4 billion over 5 years for 10 provinces and 3 territories, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to know whether the colleague feels that that is enough. I'd also like to hear his thoughts on why there's such a marked difference between the Minister of Finance's invented numbers and the actual reality on the ground.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to my colleague for the question. A nearly $80 billion deficit is most definitely enough. I think I also have real questions as to where this government is spending its money, because clearly it is not reaching the people that it needs to. I am a firm believer in investing in local infrastructure. In my rural communities, we have much aging infrastructure that is in need for renewal, but too often, as just like everything else under this Liberal government, they decide to pick winners and losers, and it is often the forgotten rural communities that people like myself and many colleagues across on this side of the aisle represent get so frustrated when they decide to put crazy ideas as strings attached to any sort of funding. At the end of the day, we need to let our local governments decide how best to spend the money, and the federal government needs to get out of the way and let local communities decide. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments. Questions et commentaires. The honourable member for Yorkton Melville.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciated the perspective and the views of my colleague. I would like him to respond to this. This government has indicated they're going to increase spending in national defence and make us the armed forces that we should be. However, at the very same time, they are cutting in every department. And at that moment, those of us that are studying suicide in veterans' lives found out that they are stressed to the nth degree because they thought, that's where they're going to go, that's where they're going to go. Sure enough, our veterans are facing the largest cut, $4 billion, more than any other department. Do you see this as a good method of increasing recruiting?
So before I recognize the member for Portage Lisgar, when using the "you" can't speak to the member directly through the chair has no views. I invite the member for Portage Lisgar to comment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and to my honourable colleague for a very good question. I've had a number of conversations recently with some folks back home, as we have an air helicopter training facility there, as well as some veterans who I think have said, A, the top-up on salary is appreciated, but certainly are concerned about the cuts and what impact that could have on our veteran services. But again, the idea of investing in our military is a very sound one, but there are structural, fundamental issues in the way that we go about procuring things in this government, in this country, particularly when it comes to our armed forces, that we need to be very mindful of to find ways to improve outcomes. But absolutely, in every way, every day, we should be supporting and thanking those who serve in uniform to protect our country. Here, here.